And now, broadcasting live from the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Hey everybody, welcome to In the Know. It's the show we do here every Thursday from the campus of Craven Community College. I'm Craig Ramey, but I don't do this by myself.
Absolutely not. Megan Johnson. So glad to be with you this morning, Craig, and our audience and our friend that's in the booth making us look good with all these pretty lights. I got purple behind me today. Good morning, Zanetta.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Very good.
She looks happy.
She does look happy.
Why do you have purple behind you?
I don't know.
Is that your
Zanetta's
aura?
got a pretty light. Oh, I do have an aura. I'm glowing today.
I like it. We were off last week.
We were.
Yeah. I feel a little out of it. I'm a little discombobulated right now.
Is that abnormal for you?
Yeah.
No,
I'm not.
Can you spell that? Discombobulated? No, stop. Just stop.
Discombobulated.
Stop.
Yes, I can spell it.
Okay. Is it in the dictionary?
I would assume discombobulated is in the dictionary.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can find it. If you're not too discombobulated to actually look through a dictionary. Did you enjoy any time off last week?
I enjoyed some time away, and I
Okay.
got to go visit my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my youngest and I drove down. It took 11 hours to get to Atlanta from here. I was stuck on Highway 95 for an hour, didn't move, and it took me an hour to get through Augusta.
Yeah.
Of course, because I drive in as the Augusta Nationals are letting out.
I feel like if you've got to drive any more than 10 hours, you should really be looking at a flight if you can, right? I know not everybody can, and it doesn't always work out in the schedule that way.
Correct.
But if you can plan for it, don't be in the car for 10 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, it all worked out. We got
Good.
there safely. A couple close calls.
Yeah.
But no, we had a nice visit with Mom. So,
Very good.
Yes. And she's going to be watching. So, hi, Mom.
And let's not forget, we do have a special guest with us today.
We do.
Yeah, he's sitting down at the end of the table very quietly right now, letting us bounce around and be crazy squirrels.
Crazy
Jumping up different things, but yeah.
Hi, can I don't know what's different, but doesn't it almost look like we're like 3D? What do you call that? The photography? What is that? Like we pop out. Isn't that cool looking?
Yeah, it's she's got us on a different camera today, I think. It's got a shallower depth of field, so we are sharper, and everything behind us is a little softer. Yeah, it looks good.
I'm
it looks
sharper
much
and
better
softer.
than usual. Yeah. What?
I'm sharper and softer.
Yes. Yeah. Like a
Well,
toilet
it does.
paper.
It looks good. Thanks, comparing me to toilet paper.
Yeah, you're sharper and softer. Yeah.
Goodness gracious, we started off good.
No,
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
talk about our guest.
Yes.
So
I tried to.
I know, and then I got
distracted.
excited. I'm like, oh wow, look, it makes it look good.
Yes. You go for it. Introduce our guest here.
So we have Will Lewis. I keep going to try calling you Bill, but Will Lewis, and he is our city mayor of the city of Havelock.
That's right.
The city mayor. Is that the real title or just mayor?
Just mayor, I think.
Just mayor.
But I get called all kinds of stuff. So mayor's good.
If
Will.
you're going
good.
to add an adjective to mayor, you would prefer
City's
city,
good.
yeah.
City's
City
good.
mayor.
Yeah, city. I'll
City
accept that. That's
mayor.
for sure.
It got elevates it a little bit, right?
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
it's better than town mayor, city mayor.
Yeah, it sounds better.
It does sound good. Well, we're grateful that you came out and hung out with us here in Newbern.
Well, you're welcome, but I'm grateful. I'm glad to be here, man. Y'all have a lot of fun in this one. I'm happy to participate.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Very good. I like your hat.
Thank you.
So that's part of your the city logo.
It's our logo.
Okay. Incorporated Havelock in 1959. So tell us a little bit about the history of Havelock. I just put you on the spot. Sorry.
Sure. So we were incorporated in 1959, which is kind of late for a municipality. But Havelock was around a long, long time before that. We're actually named after Sir Henry Havelock, who was a major general in Britain.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he's a British major general. Apparently, he was he had a lot to do in the Indian Wars that were happening when Britain had colonized India, and so there were some uprisings, and he kind of grew to a high level of fame across the whole world because he was put in charge of handling some of these issues, and he was a very pious, courageous, and apparently a fantastic leader, and was able to lead a very small force to take back some cities that had some very vicious rebellions in them and settle those rebellions. And so as he grew to national fame or international fame back then, and we're talking, 1800s, I don't know the exact dates anymore, but he became so famous that all these cities across the world started naming areas after him. And so there's a couple Havelocks in the United States. I know there's one in Indiana. There's Havelock in North Carolina, of course. And then there's Havelock, New Zealand, which if you've been to I think Harris Teeter and Foodland got the Havelock wine.
Yeah.
Right? So that's Havelock, New Zealand. It's not Havelock, North Carolina.
It actually popped up when I was doing my weather, so it's like
Right.
your area. So instead of connecting it, so it was one of my favorites. New Zealand popped up, and I was like, I didn't know that.
So my wife had a Google alert on Havelock for a while just to like see what would pop up, and Mayor of Havelock. And she kept getting these ones for the Mayor of Havelock, New Zealand, because they had like this massive water issue. She's like, y'all need to get your water issue under control. I'm like, that is not us. She's new. She's giving me a hard time. But yeah, Havelock, New Zealand. And then there's several statues of Sir Henry Havelock all over the world. We've actually got a little, in our Tourist and Event Center, we've got a little museum. And y'all have both been there. So, you know, we've got all the airplanes and we've got a timeline and some cool history stuff. We got a Havelock room. And there's a lot of Sir Henry Havelock stuff in there. There's a hat that he popularized because fighting in the desert and in these hot climates, it's the hat with the tails that go to, maybe that's what I should get my logo put on and wear, right? So it's got the tails to protect your neck from the heat. Yeah, it does. So we've got one of those in there. We've got an actual one on a Sir Henry Havelock bust. I've got a bust of Sir Henry Havelock in my office as a reminder. But that was before we were incorporated, and they named us Havelock. We were basically a train stop on the way to Moorhead, and that area was just called Havelock. And then when they incorporated in 59, people always ask us, why don't you have a downtown? You know, everybody's got a downtown in North Carolina. We were incorporated after cars were invented, right? So downtowns were because people didn't have cars. So you rode your horse or you walked, right? So for us, everybody had a car. You didn't have to be centralized in a downtown. So we've never had that as part of our construction.
Once again, never really thought about it.
Yeah, because I've definitely thought about Havelock not having a downtown and wondering why. But yeah, totally makes sense now. And
then, of course, we blew up when Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point came. You know, they started construction of that in 41, 42, and then all the Marines, and then obviously what's now FRCE started there, and all those employees and O&R is what it was called back then. And so our population just boomed. And then, so we developed, like, you know, New Bern developed over hundreds of years. We developed in like 2 decades.
Right.
And so it was super fast and what you would call like super utilitarian, like get the things you need for all these people that are coming in, which obviously now creates challenges, you know, because things are a little different now than you would want them to be in that case. But it's a fun challenge. Yeah. Makes us different.
So the challenge that I see, because I have to drive through it twice a day, is this this upcoming bypass.
Sure.
So I'm sure that's been conversation around many tables in your city. What is the bypass benefit, and also what are those challenges that maybe you guys are looking forward to tackling?
We've talked about that a lot over the years. And the initial scare was, oh man, a bypass comes, everything dries up. Right. And talking to our businesses, working with the chamber, obviously, and whoever else, you know, that all our businesses and whatnot coming to the table trying to talk about these things, you realize that Havelock really is not a stopping community. People don't, so we're so close. If you're going to Atlantic Beach, if you're cruising through you're coming from Raleigh, you're coming through New Bern, and your kid's like, hey, I want something to drink, or I need to stop for restroom. You're like, yeah, well, let's pull off in New Bern, right? You're still 45, 50 minutes maybe from getting to the beach. When you get to us, you're like 15, 20 minutes from where you got to be. So they're kind of like, you suck it up, man.
Yeah, we're a little bit more.
We'll make it 15 more minutes. We're not stopping now. We'll stop when we get to the condo or the house or whatever. So our businesses don't document a whole lot of that tourist traffic. So we really support ourselves in Havelock. So it's really our citizens going to these businesses. So we don't feel like there are 2 or 3 businesses that are definitely going to see a drop in business from the bypass, but the vast majority are surviving on Havelock citizens anyway. The real opportunity is, you look at Havelock,
we're the local employers,
right? We're incredibly linear as a city. And one side we got water all around us. We've got Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, and then you got Croton National Forest. So our ability to grow into just random areas is very, very limited. The bypass gives us a massive opportunity on that end of town to actually grow. There's a couple tracks out there that Weyerhaeuser owns. There's a few others that are large. We've already been talking to them about how they would like to develop and what that looks like, multi-use, family, what kind of homes, industry, all that kind of stuff. So that's the real opportunity. So we've been preparing our infrastructure. You can't have growth if you don't have water, you don't have sewer, you don't have roads. So probably for the last decade, we've been preparing our infrastructure to be ready for that, because some of these plans include thousands of homes in their ultimate build out, you know, in full phases. And Havelock needs that. Our homes we only got a couple neighborhoods that are really 2023 desirable homes. A lot of our homes are kind of older, 60s, 70s, 80s homes, and they don't have that open floor plan that people want, but the master suite isolated on one end, you know, we don't have a lot of that. This will give us an opportunity to modernize some of that and give people kind of what they want. Because we see a lot of people that come work on the base, and they end up living in Longleaf Pines and Taberna and Carolina Colors, or even on the other side of us, between us and Newport, where there's some new developments, because you can get that modern house.
That's right.
And in Havelock, we just don't have developable acres. We're so landlocked there. There's just not that many left. So the bypass opens that up for us.
Okay, that's good. That's good news.
It is. It is good news.
Yeah.
We've had to break a lot of eggs to get that omelet,
Sure.
right? It's the same thing we're dealing with in James City, right? Just me coming up here today, all that construction that's going to last for a while. But ultimately, the bypass will be a great thing.
That's very good. And you actually have a handful of new restaurants and businesses that have opened up. I know that Nacho Shack, we went from their food truck, and now they've got a brick and mortar right there, so that's good.
And they've been very popular.
And Good Vibes, they came out a few months ago, that little coffee shop. And
that's a fun spot.
Pastries, and they're starting to do I think they've got a comedian show.
They do like a comedy night.
Yeah, a comedy night. Yeah, they do a poetry reading. They've got some local acoustic musicians coming out, so that's good stuff.
They do homemade pizzas and paninis, and they do a little wine bar and coffee bar.
So you can sit back and...
My wife loves that place. She's been there multiple times. We've got a Starbucks coming.
Yes.
Oh, is that right?
Got Starbucks coming in Havelock.
Zanetta got excited.
Yes. A lot of people are excited about the Starbucks
so
coming.
What's going on the other side of that Starbucks?
That is, it's a threeplex. There will be a Smoothie King,
okay,
a T-Mobile, and a UPS store.
Okay, so kind of like our New Bern Harris Teeter little strip that they got there. So it's okay.
So we've got, a lot of people are excited about the Starbucks.
And where is that going to be located?
So that's down on the west end of town where our Walmart, and then you've got the Mucho Bueno Cookout, and the new car wash, and then Mucho Bueno Mexican restaurant, and then they're right next to that.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so that's happening. We've got a few things in the works that are coming still. The west end of town obviously develops a lot faster than the east end for us, and that's just because it's newer, and you've got the Walmart down there, and so that kind of anchors. We don't have a lot of al fresco dining in Havelock, right? We had a few, and some of them have closed or changed, but I always say, because this is what some of you New Bern folks say, New Bern's favorite Mexican restaurant is Patron's in Havelock, right?
Yeah.
And every time I go in there, there's 55 people from New Bern in there
right.
eating, right? Because it's a fantastic restaurant. That family bought an older restaurant on the east end of town, right before you're leaving town, by the food line and
by the old Smithfield.
Correct, right on that end of town. And they're remodeling it and doing outdoor dining with this huge patio, and it looks fantastic. And they should be opening in the next few weeks. And that's actually near my house because I live on the east end of town. I can't wait to ride my bike up there. You can have margarita and ride back home, right? That's a couple tacos. That's fun, man.
Yeah.
And so, having al fresco dining will be fun in Havelock. We haven't had that for a while.
Now, is there a place, because I love outdoor dining as well, and also like eating near the water. So are there places that they could grow or expand where there's actually waterside dining?
Not really.
Okay.
So we do have some really cool waterfront property, but it all was it's all private, right? People all own these properties. There is kind of this long range plan that we put together years ago where we would start slowly, as they became available, buying some of these that are along the water so that you could have some outdoor dining at some point development. And the city has purchased a few, as they come available. We've snagged a few so that we can get to that point. But it's going to be a while, right? That's a real long-term vision. The coolest place, if you want to go eat and be on the water, is the VFW that we've got. Is right on the water in a gorgeous spot, right off the point in the back of, it's off Lynn Wayne, and it's on Slocum Creek, right where Slocum Creek gets a little bit bigger, and it's a gorgeous spot. And so we've got an area in there we've kind of laid out. We'd love to see some development like that where you can walk from shop to shop and stop at a restaurant, eat on the water.
Yeah, put a pier out, picnic benches, that kind of stuff. That'd be great. Yeah. So you guys, of course, we participate in the Chili Fest,
Yes, ma'am.
as well as some of the. You guys, that's a huge event for you, and then you also just recently. Or the Christmas celebration. I love going by because it seems like it keeps getting bigger and bigger every
Right.
year. There's more decorations and little places for the kids to go play, and the light show seems to get a little bit bigger. And you've got the brand new stage. So tell us about
You had
the
an Easter egg
development.
hunt out there too, right?
We did 2 weeks ago. There was a ton. We had hundreds of people. The same day that y'all had your Havelock April Fool Science Rules.
Oh yes.
I
Right?
heard there was a lot of overlap there. People that were going.
There
to
was.
Easter egg
We
hunt
we
and
announced it
over.
multiple times, and then I went over to that event with my daughters, and there were tons of families there that had been at our Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, we had like 200 kids come through.
Yeah, it was great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really good exposure.
Our city park it's really the hub. So our Chili Festival happens across from that, and we've got a mobile stage out there that we use for that. But we did just build a new stage a year and a half ago, I guess, or a little over a year ago, and we had this well-used block stage that had been there. Center block stage had been there a minute or two.
It's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, well-used.
Well-loved.
Well-loved, yes, absolutely. But we've got this new massive clamshell-style amphitheater, and the acoustics so much better out there. And so we've been able to put together some music and movie series. We actually just did a movie last week during spring break. Thursday night we did The Minions Rise of Gru. So we had a whole bunch of families out there. We do food trucks, and usually there's at least a Kona Ice, Tiki truck, one of those ice cream kind of trucks out there. And then we've got movies and music planned through the whole summer, and we alternate them. So it's music, then movie, then music, then movie. And our first band is in May. It's the Bounce Band, and we got a bunch of bands planned. Brian Mayer usually comes for at least one of them with the I-42 band. So it's a good time. And our Christmas thing, so that because that park is kind of right there and everybody centralized around it, during COVID, the Christmas light thing was like, okay, we can't do our Christmas event. So we do this huge Christmas tree lighting event, and kids decorate cookies, and Santa's there, and we do, people sing, and sometimes the Second Mall Band will come play Christmas carols. It's an awesome event. Well, we couldn't do it. So the board and I were kind of like, well, what are we going to do? Like, well, let's just make a park that is, you can go out and party with your own family, right? And you can be separated from people if you need to be and feel safe. So we did all these cutouts of snowmen and all that, and elves, and we created all these little sections, Winter Wonderland and all
I
that.
love the Santa sleigh. That was really sweet.
We did the sleigh, and we call that the sleigh port because it's a picnic area. It looks like a carport, right? But it's a sleigh, so we call it the sleigh port. And so we had in there #sleighport, so people would take their picture by the sleigh, and we had a little fence around it. We did an elf lounge in the stage, so it was like crazy lights and music playing, and you could go in there, and it was like you were at a middle school dance is what kind of felt like, right? And then we do the Winter Wonderland where it's all the white lights, looks like it's snowing. And then we have a patriotic corner, of course, a red, white, and blue corner. And so, yeah, people can go there and just take pictures and hang out with their family. And it was a huge hit. And so we were like, well, man, if it's that great, we're not going to stop just because now we can all gather. So now we'll just double down on it. So, like, you're right, every year, it seems to be getting cooler and cooler. And our Appearance Commission puts together that event, and they pull out, they get those buildings donated from a shed company, and that's where we do our events inside of those, and then they come pick them back up after the event's over. And it makes like a little village, like a little Christmas village for about 4 or 5 weeks, which is kind of neat. Yeah.
And it's such a little hub right there with City Hall and the police department, fire department, everything right there, centrally located. And of course, Craven Community College Havelock campus is literally just a quarter of a mile down from that as well. So that gives us a great opportunity, like you said, to kind of tag team and partner with different events. Speaking of which, we didn't talk about it, but today is Volunteer Recognition Day.
That's right.
And we know that cities and any kind of town or events or whatever can't be done without the help of volunteers. So we want to continue to encourage people to volunteer. And if they were interested in events that are coming up or want to volunteer for an upcoming Havelock event, how would they get in touch, or who would they get in touch with?
So you could go to our website, and for the City of Havelock website, and there's all kinds of volunteer forums, because we've got, just like every city, we've got rec advisory and planning boards and board of adjustments and all that. We actually do clean sweep type events.
Cool.
Where people can volunteer to come out and help clean up the community a little bit. I did not know today was Volunteer Appreciation Day. That's awesome, because Friday, 2 days from now, the City of Havelock, we have our Volunteer Appreciation Dinner.
Oh,
which
wonderful.
maybe the people at the city that are much smarter than me
knew that.
They already knew that, right? I did not. But we do this big event. We invite all our volunteers. So if you do go on our website and you volunteer, you stop by City Hall and just say you want to volunteer, we'll get you a form or get you the right person. But we do this huge event. We feed them supper, and we have like a theme. Like this year, it's like a baseball theme. So it's kind of like you're an all-star, and you come in, and everyone gets a little gift, and we have a good fun night with some usually music and a little, just kind of me acting a fool on the stage as an MC for everybody. And so we're doing that Friday for our volunteers.
That's very good.
That's important, though, right? Volunteers want to be recognized. They want to know that the work that they're doing is appreciated, and if you can come in and be a little bit silly with them for a few minutes. And I
mean, imagine a city our size, or even New Bern size. Like, you can't hire enough employees. You don't have enough money.
Right.
Right. So for a lot of the things that people have a passion for, you can get so much more done with a volunteer base that's engaged than you ever could with hiring that many employees, because they bring a passion level and energy that you don't always get otherwise, you know?
So I've got 40 fun facts about volunteers. I'm not going to do all 40, but there's a couple that I highlighted because it really kind of goes along with what you're saying. 40% of parents volunteer each year, and all three of us are parents at the table. And I know you've done lots of volunteering, and read to the children in the classroom and dressed up silly and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I was everything from room mom to actually I was a volunteer coordinator for the grade school, and then went on and started a PTO. So it's always important. And I felt that was my best opportunity as a parent to be engaged in my children's school. So, and of course you've got 2 elementary schools, 3.
We have
in Havelock.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 elementary schools.
5 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and a high school.
There. So plenty of opportunities for people to go and volunteer. Utah is the highest rate of volunteers in America.
Wow.
51%. 7% of nonprofits had to close their doors due to the impact of COVID-19. So it's not because people couldn't go out and volunteer and do stuff.
Yeah, and that was one of the things last year during, I believe it was the Fabric Awards, when John Siegel was talking. He was talking about how a lot of nonprofits were doing okay as far as donations and funds coming in, but they needed people. That if you can't donate money, donate time to go out, because that's really what it takes. Is nonprofits can't survive without
the help.
People who come and volunteer.
That's a scary resource to lose.
Yeah, for sure.
Very scary resource to lose.
Volunteering decreases the likelihood of high blood pressure development by 40%. So
depends on the nonprofit.
That's a good incentive to get out there,
Depends on who
right?
you're volunteering for.
Yeah.
In Havelock, for sure, at least that much.
Fundraising for an event is the most common type of volunteer role in the United States. I can see that, going out and drumming up business. 70% of corporate volunteers believe that volunteerism boosts morale more than company mixers. So I think that's great.
Yep, there's some companies who actually will give you 8 hours a month that are just strictly for volunteer time, which is a really great idea, right? If there was just like one day a month where you just didn't have to go to work, you got to go and actually contribute to your community.
Well, and even an indirect volunteerism. So like people signing up for the Neuse River Bridge Run. I mean, that goes back, and that funds and participation goes back to help these nonprofits and partnership in the area. 96% of volunteers reported the action enriched their sense of purpose in life.
Oh, sure.
So please go out, volunteer. If you're not sure, you can go, like you said, you can go down to Havelock City Hall, get some information, go to your local schools, go down to Habitat for Humanity or Hospice, United Way. I did find a really cool app, and it was called Volunteer Match. I've not heard of that.
I've heard of
so
that
you
before,
actually
yep.
just type in your city, state, and all of a sudden it gives you all kinds of different ideas of stuff to do. So anyway, and a little quote. You want a quote? Do you want an Aristotle quote?
Give it to me.
I love Aristotle.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Aristotle, he was born in 384 BC, once said, "The essence of life is to serve others and do good." So as a mayor, that's kind of like motto that you have to take too, isn't it? Serve others and do good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna add to your. I tell people all the time, if you're in a little bit of a funk or you're kind of like trying to figure out, like you can't find your purpose, whatever. If you can find a way to help somebody else, like that service will make you feel a lot better. I mean, it'll get you moving in the right direction. I think service. Of course, I believe in service myself, but I think it is a huge mental booster for people to know you're doing good in your community, doing good for somebody, even if it's just, helping that person change their tire on the side of the road, whatever it is. That service is important.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason why people will dedicate so much time outside of their working hours, right, and not getting paid. It's because they enjoy it. It's because they are getting something out of it. And it's really interesting how people at a job, they will at 5 o'clock want to be out the door, but they would be willing to work more than 40 hours a week for a nonprofit or service organization if they could.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with providing that service and feeling good about it. Hey, I love to volunteer because I am helping people, but when I leave, I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I did something that's bigger than just me today, and I think that's okay. Sometimes people be like, oh, it's still selfless. There's nothing you do that doesn't give you something good, right? I'm having a blast here with y'all today, even though it's part of my job, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I think if you volunteer and you get something good out of it, that's all right too.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, because another area in your city is the convention center, and that's becoming super busy again. It kind of got quiet again during COVID. So tell us some of the events that'll be happening over there.
Sure. That's where we do any big city events. So our volunteer appreciation dinner will be there Friday night. And we're going into this time of year. Everybody, even the early college, they use it for graduation. Prom will be there for Havelock High School. There's tons of training and education events there. We're really a flexible sort of facility. We can do events that are pretty large. So we have a couple Marine Corps balls every year that'll happen there. Never the H&HS or the Second Mall Mush Ball because they're just way too large. But we do a lot of squadron Marine Corps balls in there.
You have the fly-in in there, right?
The fly-in, which you've been to a couple times.
Yeah.
Fly-in's a great event. We do our summer camp, our ECAF elementary school summer camp happens at the Tourist and Event Center. We'll be doing some of our budget stuff there, I think, which, that's not as, citizens are always welcome. They don't like to see how the sausage gets made sometimes. But, so our Allies for Cherry Point's tomorrow stuff, we do a lot of that at the Tourist and Event Center. And so we've got, a huge one I can't miss, Salute to the Veterans. So we do this huge Salute to the Vets our Chamber of Commerce puts on every year, and that is a fantastic event. It's in May this year, and businesses can sponsor tables, and of course we invite all the veterans in the area. It doesn't matter what branch. Look, we're Marines down there, but we love everybody. So we Tom Broughton, General Broughton, comes and MCs it for us. And it's a fantastic event where we pay respect to our veterans. We recognize oldest and youngest, which is a blast because used to be we always had a World War II vet. And as the years pass, we have less and less of those. I think the closest we've had recently was somebody who enlisted in 1945, and he was a Marine, and he enlisted like in July, I think, or June of August of 45, and said that the war ended a month after he enlisted, and it was because they heard he enlisted in the Marine Corps, right?
So they were scared. They went running.
Right? That's why we love Marines, right? And we're like, yes, great, man. But still a lot of Korea vets that'll be there, Vietnam vets, and then all the way up to our youngest is usually a young Marine from the base that maybe just got out of school and like they're literally 18 and a half years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
And so it's a great event. We'll pack the whole tourist event. So there'll be several hundred people there, several hundred, in case you thought it sounded like 700. We won't have that
Several.
many. Yeah, 300 to 400 usually is where we end up.
But you have a very active Chamber of Commerce group, and you have a really active Rotary Club as well.
We do. So like Rotary does their reverse raffle, and they do it right there in our Tourist and Event Center, which I think they're just wrapping up selling tickets for that now. Very active. Our Chamber of Commerce, they do a lot. And with the Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, y'all know, you have a MAC here at your chamber that does a lot with the base, but we're their host city. Like they're in our city limits, right? And so we do a lot with them. The chamber does a lot with them, chicken pickings and pig pickings and, service persons of the quarter.
I didn't hear about chicken pickings. I want to go to chicken picking.
Yeah, come on. It's like the pig picking. They just do it with chickens. And we do that usually on the base out at Hancock Lodge, which is on the water out there. So our chamber's real active, doing a lot of good things. They work with us at the city, obviously. We're a small chamber of commerce, and so we work with them a lot. They've got a new app, the Havelock app, so you can use that to find out what's going on in Havelock today. And so you can download that from the App Store, and everywhere in Havelock you can find the QR code. It's at City Hall, so you scan the QR code and download it. And it kind of tells you what's going on. We had our 20th anniversary for the Tourist and Event Center last year, and we actually had people come in, and we didn't know who they were. And so I just kind of was talking to them, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, it popped up on my app that y'all are having this thing. And then another one said, at Facebook Live, we had done a Facebook Live real quick. And I was like, hey, come out to the DEC. And they're like, we saw your Facebook Live. And they actually live in New Bern, and they're a realtor, and they were in Havelock. So they came down to the event. So yeah, Chamber's been active about that, trying to get the information out. It's a lot to do in Havelock, and people don't realize that. And a lot about it's about information dissemination, right? And you can never get it right. Everybody wants it a certain way. And for us, our population is weird, right? So if you look at our demographics, it'll tell you we're like average age 25 or 26, but you've got a couple thousand Marines on the base that are 22 years old that are making that number as low as it is. We've still got a lot of people that are a lot older and aren't playing around on Facebook and Instagram. Like there's nothing to do. Well, because they don't look at that.
Yeah.
And so the chamber's trying to bridge that gap for us.
Yeah.
That's really good. So I have to say, Will, when Zanetta sent out the information, because I've not met you. I mean, I work down in Havelock, but I've not met you. And you are young and refreshing, and I am so excited for the city of Havelock to have you. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you said I'm young. I'm still hanging in there.
He's young. Well, compared to me. And refreshing.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I think it's fabulous. It's not what I was expecting the mayor of Havelock to be. So it was a nice treat, which is probably why I marched right by you when I walked in this morning. And then I went,
you've been the mayor for a little bit now, right?
I have. So I was a commissioner for 8 years. And then ran for mayor, and I've been mayor now. I think technically this is my 10th year. Yep. We're like off, so I have to do my math weird because we did like a lot of municipalities, and after the census, we bumped our election to even years. And so we're now on an even year cycle, so we all got an extra year. So I think this is my 10th year maybe.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and of course, we've been getting comments during the stream of people who love their mayor.
Really? So, great.
You want to share one?
Yeah, let me see. We've got a Mary Weigel.
Oh, yeah. I know Mary Wag. Yeah, I know Mary.
We love our mayor. And Renee, or Rainey, maybe? Louis?
Rain. Yeah, that's my wife. Did she
Okay.
say something good about me? I love it. Thank you, Rain.
Yeah,
Thank you,
screenshot
Rain.
that one. Yeah.
I might need you to text me that one, Craig.
Yeah.
Screenshot.
Look, I'm fortunate to have being mayor is not always easy.
Sure.
And, I've got a family that supports me in that, which is cool because it's not always easy for the family either. It's not easy for Rain. It's not easy for my daughters. And they support me, and I appreciate that because they're a lot like today. I left the house, dropped the girls at school. My wife probably won't see me again until 7 o'clock tonight because we've got stuff all day and I've got things all night tonight. And she's a great support. You can't do it without people supporting you, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You seem to enjoy it, though, too.
Dude, I love it. I grew up in Havelock. I'm one of the few, we've had families that have been there longer than me, but my family came in 1941, and so I was third generation growing up in Havelock. My daughters are the fourth generation in Havelock, and I do love Havelock. There's a lot of fantastic things there. There are a lot of challenges, like anywhere too, and I enjoy being a part of that. And so I'm always passionate. I don't ever lose my passion for trying to help Havelock. That's for sure. Even when it's hard, right? That's when it's the best.
That's very good. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So we want you to stay because we're going to talk a little bit about some events coming up.
Sure.
And we actually have some stuff going on at Havelock. So we're going to plug those as well.
All right.
So, Will, thanks again. But can you think of anything else that you'd like to share about fun things that are happening?
I don't think it's live yet, but I was telling y'all at the beginning, we're doing our first podcast in Havelock because
Can we come?
Yeah, absolutely, right? I already told Zanetta, I was like, this has got to be reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
You all come down and we'll have some fun. Ours is going to obviously be pretty casual. Right now we're calling it What's Up Havelock. I was telling you that because apparently when I do my mayor's minutes, that's the thing we've kind of caught on with recently, just giving people information through a mayor's minute. I say What's Up Havelock a lot. So, which makes sense. So we're calling it What's Up Havelock. We kind of recorded our first one. It's recreation, and it's about upcoming events for recreation and the spring stuff that's going on. We haven't quite gone. I don't think we've put it out there yet. It'll be soon. So yeah, people should know we're going to fire up a podcast called What's Up Havelock, and I think it'll be fun. It'll be casual, and certainly we'll be talking about people getting to meet some people. We're going to bring the CO and the CG so people can see who their military leaders are, and they're fun guys. So it'll be fun. Yeah,
Awesome.
It'll be good.
Where do you think it'll be available when you do put it out there?
I don't know. That's a great question,
Yeah.
Craig. So I'm thinking in the next couple of weeks this first one will drop,
Yeah.
right? And I think we're just trying to nail down a few details of what it should look like and get the editing finished.
Sure.
And then the goal is to get one out. We were thinking once a month. Y'all do it like every week. I'm like, man, we got to keep up with them. Like, we got to do it every week. But staff's they have real jobs to do, and then they got to deal with me too. So we'll see how often we can do it.
Yeah. Once a week is a lot to keep up with for sure, and I'm sure Zanetta will attest to that.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure. Well, Zanetta's been great. She's helping Greta, and she's opened up the door and said, Greta, anytime you want to check out the studio, look at stuff, our people that are helping us, she's been fantastic at trying to help us figure it out.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, well, so part of what we do every week is, of course, let everybody know some of the events that are happening around our community so that if they want to plan their weekend, we can help them out with that too. So that is one of the things that helps us have this every week too.
Well, do you have our plant swap for Saturday on there? You probably don't because it's not super well publicized. But
Plant
All right, so you go first.
if you love plants,
Uh-huh.
this Saturday, which is the 22nd,
Yes.
from 10 to 12 in our Havelock City Park, our wonderful city park, under one of our sleigh ports, we're having our plant swap. And so our Appearance Commission sets that up. You can bring plants. You can come get plants. They have tons of donated plants out there. If you haven't got your annuals yet and you want to come see what we got, come check them out. They'll have vegetables. They got a little potting bench where you can actually bring your kids and they'll help you pot up something. If you got extra plants at your house, bring them out. I'm a plant guy, so I've got 50 plants ready to go.
Like
so
what?
Most of mine are going to be mini jades, which is a Portulacaria afra. It's like it's in a succulent family, but it's got kind of a woody stem. Super easy to take care of.
Interesting. Okay.
They're fun plants. So, and they propagate real easy, so I've got lots. So my daughters helped me, and one of their friends helped me put about 48 or 50 of them together. We're bringing out there for people to take.
Neat.
But that's a fun event in
All
Havelock.
right, tell us again the day.
This Saturday, April 22nd, from 10 to 12 in Havelock City Park.
Very
Plant
cool.
swap.
Nice.
Wonderful.
I'm so glad you added that one to the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's
You
run
want to
through
start
it.
first?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, the New Bern Family Days Super Carnival, April 20th through the 23rd, 5 to 10 p.m. at Lawson's Park. Is back again. Join us for our second annual Family Days in the Park Carnival. We've added more spectacular rides, food, and certainly more fun. There are over 30 attractions, including thrill rides,
Well done.
family rides,
Well done.
Kittyland, skill games, super food courts. What's a super food court?
That sounds awesome, though.
I'm going to eat everything.
It's a
Everything's
jumbo-sized
available.
funnel cake.
Love it. Face painting and more. Unlimited ride wristbands are available every day for a low price with military, first responder, and birthday specials every day. Go to magicmidwaytickets.com for tickets.
Very good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was nice, Greg. That's good.
North Carolina Baroque Orchestra,
bring
A
it
Stranger in a Strange Land, April 20th, 7:30 to 9:15. That would be this evening. So if you do not have tickets, there's tickets still available. It'll be in our Oringer Auditorium here at Craven Community College, New Bern campus. The North Carolina Baroque Orchestra will explore musical cross-pollination and outsider composers in this concert titled A Stranger in a Strange Land. Many of these composers spent time away from their birth countries, learning from, imitating, and being inspired by composers in the land they visited, and some of the works come from the composers who were, quote-unquote, outsiders by dint of race and gender. Join us for an evening of beautiful music inspired by new experiences. Adult tickets are $20. Students are $10. If you're interested in a ticket, call 633-2618 or go to cravencc.edu/LLC for Lifetime Learning Center.
Very good.
Very
I figured
good.
we'd give our next event to our guests since
Yes.
it does have a little bit of a tie-in.
Well, the question is, are you a fan of the night sky?
Yes.
Or are you interested in stars at all? If so, statewide star party. It'll be April 21st from 7:30 to 9:15. That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow evening.
That's tomorrow from 19:30. We'll say 7:30 to 9:15.
There you go.
Join Craven Community College and hundreds of others across North Carolina for a statewide star party. We'll celebrate the night sky on the Havelock campus with hands-on activities followed by a sky tour with local astronomers. Telescopes will be available. So if you don't have one, you can still enjoy the night sky. However, feel free to bring your own if you do have one. It'll be educational and fun for all ages.
Now, let's go back to volunteering.
Well
if
done.
you are interested and want to volunteer, call the Havelock Main campus and talk to Jessica. She was looking for some extra volunteers.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yep, so great opportunity. And that's the same evening that you're doing your dinner appreciation, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So I will not be able to be there, which would be a bummer. My daughters love the night sky. They probably, maybe they'll
Well, it's still
abandon me.
9:15, so maybe after dinner.
Oh, yeah, we could
Yeah.
totally do it afterwards. That's a good point.
All right. Your turn.
The 100th anniversary of the New Bern Historical Society, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the North Carolina History Center. On April 19th, that was yesterday, the Historical Society turned 100 years old.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive. But hitting the century mark does not mean slow down and doddering. On the contrary, this lively organization is preparing to spend a whole year in celebration and has released a special 100th anniversary logo. That's what you see up there, to remind people of all the exciting events coming up through 2023. In addition to all the popular events that folks have come to expect from the Historical Society, like Ghost Walk, Heritage Homes Tour, and the Hallowed Ground Lantern Tour, they're planning some very special celebrations, including more special presentations and walking tours. One of the most exciting is the result of a partnership with Tryon Palace. Expect to see an exceptional exhibit at North Carolina History Center's Duffy Gallery, Through the Looking Glass, where you'll journey through the last 100 years. That's also scheduled to be available between April and December of 2023.
Very good. I don't think I've ever heard this next word before. It's a trashin' show. From historical to hysterical. April 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. at the New Bern Civic Theater. Come join the street party fun as a contestant or a voting audience member at New Bern's pop-up runway contest where turning trash into fashion, treasure wins prizes. Thus, Trashin' Show.
Oh, interesting.
Trash, scraps, remnants, used objects, recyclables, plastics are all fair game materials. Get creative and be kind to our planet. Don't throw away your opportunity to win. I've got egg cartons if anybody needs them. I got lots of them.
You want to make an egg carton hat?
Egg carton hat.
Good. Or I've got enough to probably make a
Shoes?
dress.
Yeah, just protect your head in case you fall down.
Yeah, egg cartons.
The helmet.
I do. I got plenty of them. I
Yeah.
got friends with chickens, so I can save my egg cartons.
Okay, save your egg cartons.
I am.
Don't wear them. That's
well,
the
it could
lesson
be
of the day.
historical to hysterical. Okay. The next one.
New Bern Follies. That's also Saturday from 7:30 to 10 p.m. at New Bern Civic Theater. The New Bern Follies performs one night only this Saturday, April 22nd from 7:30 at 7:30 p.m. You're not going to want to miss the pre-sideshow on the square in front of the Athens Theater as well. Some of the folks from Nightmare Factory who are in Havelock, they're a part of this show as well on Saturday.
Justin and his group.
Yep. New Bern Follies honors the Athens Theater's origins as a vaudeville theater in which variety shows of unrelated acts and amusements entertained community residents. The 2023 edition of the Follies is keeping tradition alive with local talent that includes aerialists, dog acts, circus spectacle, child acts, singers, comic clowns, and more. It's a unique event not to be missed and fun for the whole family. Tickets at newberncivictheater.org or 252-634-9057. Fun fact.
Are you participating?
I will be volunteering Saturday night as an usher in the balcony.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hey.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is Jessica spinning? She doing
She is.
aerial stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yep, she's in it.
I want to know about the dog acts. That's why I got tickled when he was talking about dog acts.
The dog's name is Pork.
Pork.
Yes.
Really?
Okay.
That's awesome.
Come see Pork fly
Pork.
through the air.
Does he
Yeah.
really?
Well, I mean, he jumps and gets up on chairs, and I don't want to spoil too
Okay.
much, but yeah, he's a dog act named Pork.
Pork.
That tells you everything you need to know, right?
That's intriguing enough. That's all you need to know.
All right.
Fresh from the chicken picking, it's Pork the dog.
So, of course, we've talked about this several times on the show, but we've got the 13th Annual Community Fabric Award at the Riverfront Convention Center. That's going to be April 25th from 12 to 1:30. I think that tickets are still available, but I think it's going to end pretty quickly. So if you are interested in going, please make sure you get your ticket quickly. But the Community Fabric Awards, the CFA annual event, showcases individuals, businesses, educational excellence in leadership as demonstrated by outstanding initiative and impact of service and the inspiration of others. These folks volunteer a lot, right? The foundation created this premier event in 2011 to recognize, reward, and encourage activities that have a significant impact on meeting the needs of our local communities. For more information, please contact Christina at 638-7351. That would be Christina Murray. So she is going to help you get tickets. But you can also go on cravencc.edu/CFA to get tickets
That's
as well.
right. Very good.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. One more. We've had a lot going on today.
There is a lot.
Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah.
Spring.
I love
right?
it.
Everyone gets excited. I love it.
Judy Carmichael, April 26th from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. at Oringer Auditorium. Stride pianist and guitar. Judy Carmichael is one of the world's leading interpreters of stride and swing piano. I don't know what that is.
It's like swing dance.
Okay.
I know swing
I
stride
don't know what
is
stride is, but swing. Oh, okay.
Her,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm sure it's great. Her talents have taken her all over the world, from Carnegie Hall to the Guggenheim Museum in Venice, Italy. The High Energy program is a romp through the Great American Songbook, combined with Judy's wit and humor, swinging piano, sultry vocals, and sassy humor. Tickets available at Mitchell's Hardware, Carolina Creations, Fuller's Music, Bank of the Arts, and on our website at, not our website, their website, cravenconcertsinc.org.
Yes, and Craven Concerts is a different group that is in the community. It's not connected with Craven Community College.
Correct.
Because sometimes people get them, they think that our concert series is part of Craven Concerts, and it's not. But they support local education. They help get instruments into students' hands that want them. They take donations and volunteer folks to go and they refurbish them. So students that want to take band and orchestra instruments, they can take that in school. So it's a great organization. So encourage people to do that. I actually did a concert for them many years ago, and it raised enough money to bring in an opera group, and so all 3rd through 5th graders in Craven County got to come and watch this Hansel and Gretel opera,
Wow.
which was very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's a great thing. So we have had a busy, lots of information. We are in the know about what's going on in Havelock.
So much, yes.
So much. And we hope that you stayed with us the whole time, and if not, you can always watch us again back on YouTube. Like us, share us. What else?
Validate us. Make us
Validate
feel
us.
important.
Make us feel good. Yeah,
Send
I need a lot of likes on this, so people are like, oh, well, he was a good guest. I need
Send
that.
in some more guests. Yeah. So when we
Yeah.
see this and we want to share it, there is so much that goes on in Craven County, and that's one of the things we really try to make sure that Havelock is included, because sometimes it's like you get to see the other side of the river and you're like, ooh. So we are so grateful that you came and spent the morning with us.
Yes, ma'am. I was stoked to be here.
Great. Awesome.
We're lucky to have City Mayor.
City Mayor.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yeah.
City Mayor of Havelock.
Yeah.
So, and when you said how the The general.
Sir Henry Havelock.
And of the British Army something something. You know what was running in my head?
No.
Oh, well, I'll have to tell you after.
Okay.
It's a musical song.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, very
the
good.
Brigadier General. Anyway, so I won't sing it because I can't remember all the words. We hope that you will come back again in the future.
Would love
And
to.
we hope to be on your podcast in the very near future as well. And I'm going to go hang out at the Slayport and go
gotcha.
check it out. Go eat my lunch in Slayport
Yeah.
in the
right.
park. It'll be fun. But we want you guys to come back next weekend, or next Thursday, I should say. We will stay here for the weekend as well. But April 27th, 9 a.m. here in the Know podcast.
Yeah, and we'll announce who our guest is very soon. No,
Yes.
like right now. Our guest is Aaron Langley, Director of Mission Advancement at the Twin Rivers YMCA, or Eastern Carolina YMCA. Yep, very good.
Awesome.
Yep.
So again, thank you all. Zanetta, thanks for doing what you do in the booth there. We're grateful again. And I don't have anything else to say, do you?
No, we've talked about a lot today.
We
I wanna
have.
Let people go ahead and get on with their day now.
Absolutely.
With
Go
all
get
they know.
Go get that second cup of coffee,
Love it.
right? All right, guys. Well, take care. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next week. So stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you.